Good afternoon. It is 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, October 27, 2022. We are still in the day session, and some interesting things happening here that I wanted to talk about. Some interesting observations. That's why I'm doing it early. We just opened up the final period of the day session. If you count it ending at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. And we may get a rally here, but I want to, and if we do, actually, that will be an interesting part of this presentation. So I want to bring in the daily chart very quickly. We had a Gravestone Doji. The way it closed yesterday, a lot didn't change. And we opened in range and value today with the 50 moving average down here, right at where it was a sort of decision point, where we started trading and closing above it. That might bode well to the long side. You know, this is a very this is an important dynamic reference in my opinion. And we did open and traded above a little bit, and then it acted as support a little bit, seemingly. You can perceive it that way. But then we obviously came down here, but we also came back through again. And we're going to talk about that and how that worked with the stories. And I'll pull those in right now. But first off, we want to talk about conflicting data points. We had a poor low and a poor high in the overnight session, okay? And the poor low, by the way, was exponential, EXP. This is not the right marker for this, but we had a weak low the prior 2 days on the A low, and then a poor low on 10/23 overnight. So let's look at that. You can see going back a couple days, and I talked about this in the other videos, this low down here, I might have gone a little too far. No, wait, no, I did not. Just a moment. Yeah, maybe I did. Yeah, this A low right on the overnight volume point of control is a weak low from a couple days ago. We had a poor low on in this evening session. I said 10:23, maybe it's 10:24, but either way, this is what I meant. It's poor low, and then this overnight coming from Tuesday to Wednesday, never traded back through, and then we opened yesterday. Let's see, right here at 38.37 quarter, and it was right on the TPOC, right on the VPOC. This isn't a great low, especially we never came back and took out the overnight low. There's a lot of anomalies in this profile in the overnight. It just doesn't bode well for being secure, any of that. So it's kind of insecure. It's weak. It might come back through there at some point in time, which is what we've seen a little bit today. And I'll get to that. Let's see. I'm going to move in the stories now, and we'll talk about what's happened today. So the first thing is we opened in range and value, and if we can't develop value lower, okay? So if a buying tail in prior day's A period is rejected again today, or market cannot stay below overnight low, look to be long for move to value area high. Okay, this happened. Let's look at how it happened. This was a great trade plan here. Again, we opened right here, and the best thing to do, I think, to look at this would be to pull in the minute chart. So this like gray shaded area defines the overnight and where the open is. So this is the open from today. Right here, we opened, ticked down, came straight up to the pivot point, and each one of these bars is a minute, came back down, and before, somewhere midpoint of the A period, we came all the way back down through the value area low. Okay, now we're out of value, and we came all the way down here. Now I want to point out that the overnight low is at 38.34, and very quickly, let me do something here. I don't know why I don't have those drawings shared on here. Just a moment. Okay, I actually did. I had there's a selection for hiding chart drawings from other charts, and I just had cleaned this up a little bit. So here's the overnight low right here. But you can see we came through the value area low, the overnight low, and the value area low from an overnight on 10/26, and all that. So just a moment. Let me see something here. The important thing is that we came back into the value area, right? And the idea was to get long, and you can see this traded all the way up to the other side of value. And this was in B period, right into C period, and then guess what? We had a repeat to the downside. Came back into value. Now I didn't map that out as a story, but I have talked about this in the other videos. You know, we got the prior high a day way up here. And we're that far away, and we've come back down, and you want to watch developing value and structure and all kinds of things, and there's an opportunity to get short. Now, and we come all the way back down again to the value area low. So 80% rule to the upside and to the downside, okay? Actually, make this a little bigger, and let's take a look here very quickly, is what that would have been for, I don't know where my prior low a day is. Okay. All right. Well, I'll find. It'll turn up. It'll turn up. I don't have the number in my head, and I don't know why I'm not seeing it on this. It must be hidden behind something. But let me clean this up a little bit. Okay. And let's see. There it is, right here. Value area low, prior low a day, and then the overnight low was in there as well. Came down, came back in. See, that's a lot more clear, a lot clearer. Now this doesn't look like very far, but let's take a look. What would it be if we did a we got long inside here above the open of yesterday, and we had our stop below prior low a day. You know, I don't know how far that'll be, but let's take a look here. That's 5 points. That's pretty big, so I can clean that up. We can just do below the value area low. But you know, up to the pivot point, that is 18.5 points. Up to the I would have had some congestion. I had to hang in there, but if we got through there and you came just shy of the overnight high, that's about 28 points, 27 points. Okay, so there you go. That's a nice trade. And to be fair, I mean, a lot of people might use 5 points, but to me, that's a little rich. I don't think you need to. You've got references you can hide behind here. Let's see if it was just the value area low you stayed behind. There's 2.5 points again. Okay. I say again because a lot of times I'll just drop it, and maybe I'm just used to that. No, I guess not, because I put that on a different chart. And anyway, I just dropped it. It happened to be 2.5 points, 10 ticks. Okay, and again, you don't have to capture all 27 points. Could have gotten it up just to the DPOC. There's 5.25 points, and reloaded on the settlement, and you know, those kind of things. But this was the idea. I mean, how to trade this again. I keep wanting to delve off into that, and that's not really here nor there at the moment. It might be interesting, but really ought to spend more time on something like that to properly deal with it. But there you go. There's that story, and let's pull this back in, and let's just a moment, uncheck that, and move this out of the way for the moment. And let's say 27 points, 28 points. Let's just go 10 points again. How about that? Does that make anybody happy? I think it would. All right. So open in range and value, rejected from value area. We're on story 2 now. Volume and value clearly lower. All right, this didn't happen. And again, I had said that these stories were very similar to yesterday's because a lot hadn't changed the way we were balancing, and but this didn't really happen. We didn't really reject from the value area till later, and I want to talk about that in terms of number 5. But we have open in range and value, move to value area high, holding above 50 simple moving average, then clearing value area high. Well, some of that worked, and we got up there, and we were above the 50 simple moving average, then clearing the value area high. Looked to be long against references and volume distributions. The 50 simple moving average, value area high, which at the time was the same as, or excuse me, the value area high was the same as the current overnight high. But we saw what happened. So we're going to eliminate that story in a second, but let's take a look at it on the profile. Well, we look at the minute charts a lot clearer. So we came all the way up here and came all the way back down, right? Now we were above the 50 moving average, but we never got back up there again, okay? So let's move this out of the way again, and we're going to cancel out this story because we didn't really get, even though we cleared the value area high and all that, we didn't get continuation. And that was sort of what that was about. And number 2, I want to leave this uncrossed off for the minute because I might want to come back and read some of that verbiage in relation to this. But number 4, continuation past prior high of day. Well, we didn't get that far past the value area high, and the prior high of day I showed you was a lot higher up. So we're going to cross that out. So 3 and 4 didn't work out. Number 5, continuation below prior low of day. Okay, we've had some of that, but let's look at this. This is one of the things that's interesting where we are right now, and I want to talk about this in number 2 first, because this has to do with rejected from value area. Well, we're below it now, so you can call it rejected. The value's changing, or we're probing lower, okay? Volume and value clearly lower between the overnight low and prior low a day and low from 1025. Well, there wasn't a lot of... The VPOC is between the value area low and the prior low a day, so that ought to count for something, okay? The value is... it's overlapping to lower, but you can see we have this distribution here. It's not very defined, where there's the type of like volume distros I'm talking about where we're having a pretty big move. It's just been pretty thin, evenly spread out. A little thicker on the bottom now because we've traded down here for a while. The last, a lot of this afternoon. Let me pull this back in. Just wanted to point that out. So this has to do with the caution to be careful being short. Because look, you could be short here, but how far did it go? How it came down, came back up, and came way back up in H period, right? So when we started probing down in E and F and G, we didn't get very far into this A. Let me do it like this, into this A period area, right? If you look right here, before it got rejected out and back up again, right? So then I period, we start moving back down, right? Coming down, and start taking back some more of it. We're one time framing down. This is good news. However, one of the things I talked about right here, continuation below prior low a day, and the prior low a day is, I probably ought to change this tone of blue here. I'm sorry, I've still got kind of a cough and everything. It's right here, okay? That's the prior low a day is. And one of the things I outlined was short only if one time framing lower in this area. Okay, well, it takes 3 periods to one time frame lower. So we got H, I. You almost, you wonder if you can count I, because H went all the way up here and then came back down. Yeah, you can count it. All right, 1, 2, 3. Now, once we take out, now we're one time framing, right? Well, look where J opened, and I mean that's worth something. But what are you gonna get short against? You did have a port low, so there was an opportunity to get short here, but you needed to be careful. And I wasn't really watching the price action at this point in time, so I don't know how that was. But I know I talked about expecting pops, and this is in number 2, which we're really talking more about. Number 3. I just wanted to talk about number 2 because I had some verbiage in there that might be applicable. And let's just cross this off, all right? So continuation below prior low a day. Short only if one time framing lower in the area where we were. Watch the TPO ranges. So this is one of the observations I want to make. The TPO ranges have a lot of information. So let's look at this TPO range right here. Okay, and let's see, let's make it blue. Well, I don't know why that's, oh, I know why. Just a moment. Let's make it blue, and let's make this a little thicker just so we can see it really well. Okay, so this is our little TPO range. Well, look at the prior TPO ranges. Okay, here is I period. Okay, look how long I period is, right? Look how short K period is. Okay, this little square box, I need to make a special tool for this, but I period, I'm not going to color it. I period is, I'm going to use the circle again. I period is only this long, right? Versus look how long most of the other periods of the day are. Even G period, okay? I just folded it over and it's the same length. That's another 30% longer. My point is they start getting shorter. The ranges start getting shorter. And the way the ranges popped out of, we didn't have a lot of range extension. I probably should have said that in the thing. What kind of range extension are we getting? Once we had this poor low, we only got 3 ticks in J. Once K took out J, it only came like, a point and a half or so. Same with L, maybe 2.25 points. So now look what's happened. We've got a reversal pattern. I don't know if we're going to unfold to the upside or close down here, but it'd be tough to be short in here because all day long, you get stuck. Yeah, that makes some movement, but you get stuck, and that's no fun. And if you're like me, you like it to move in your direction and keep moving. When it stalls out, you really are you've got a lot of risk exposure. You could give a lot back, and you take profit. But if you take profit, all of a sudden it might get up and go again and keep on trucking. So that's one of those things in trading that's kind of it wears on you, But here we are. You want to look at down here in this again. Short, maybe only if is a little strong. And obviously, if there's an opportunity you want to try it, you want to do it. But if one time framing lower is advisable, and then watch TPO ranges. Be careful. Market internals, you want them very negative. Well, look at our market internals here. Well, if I didn't have this like that, the breadth is still positive. It's above 0. Advanced decliners above 0. The tick is lower for the moment, So that's not what you want to see if you want to really see it move down and take back. By the way, remember this chart from the other day? So this is this divot, let's see here. Well, actually, this divot right here in today. There it goes. Well, you get the idea. I'm not going to go fishing for it. Basically, this whole area right here, on the in the way it looks on the weekly is like a divot. So we're not really, that's sort of a gulf. It's not fixed, obviously, but that's been hard to cross. There's a chasm right there. And all right, almost finished. Let's bring this back in. Be careful being short without multiple distributions. Okay. Destination is overnight low from 1023 ultimately. So that's just something, if it is trucking on down, where you might get to. But there's obviously lots of little stopping points along the way. So look at this volume distribution. I mean, it's great. We have volume built down here, but it's sort of congested. And look how it tapers off. It attenuates. On all, like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 periods from here lower. I'm going to make some tools to make it a little easier to draw this and not always draw this circle. Look how thin the volume is there, okay? Now we can split off each profile and see what the volume looks like, but if once we cleared the initial balance or the prior day's low, we would be seeing some moves, then consolidation, move, then consolidation, and move, then consolidation, and volume distributions. And that's not what we're really seeing. This isn't what is really meant by that, just for future reference, okay? I mean, that's helpful. Shorts would work, but you got to be very careful. That's what that whole instruction was about. And again, I'm not instructing anyone. This is done for me, my own edification, my own practice, and continuing to build confidence, to be patient for these things to develop, and to stick to my own word, and follow my own plan. I had a little bit of trouble this morning, getting warmed up and got a little chopped up until we had that move below and back in, and then I was able to do a lot of that run in the initial value area. Excuse me, 80% rule, but I didn't wait for it at first. I I just started getting, we were above the 50 moving average, and I started really working on that. And that wasn't a terrible idea, but, you know, I lost sight of the fact, okay, if it doesn't work, wait for the next one, you know, because if you've heard me say in the last couple videos, like sometimes you got to take a few shots. Well, you know, you take a few shots and those shots don't work. My first one worked, but then my other ones didn't work. And then now you kind of got a few punches in the face to start the day. And, you know, I don't care how many times you do this, you feel only as good as your last trade. You know, it's like in sales. You know, it's not what you did yesterday, it's what you did today. And it's the same kind of thing with trading. All right, there you go. A nice 20-minute video for us, and I hope it was helpful. There's I'm sure some points to be made down here, but I'm not gonna get that. As we know, just on the upside and to the downside, there was more. There was at least 27 points available, 28, and possibly more. But let's just be conservative and say that you took it in pieces and you made it out with 5 to 10 points. Nice day for a day trader in the first hour. All right. Thank you very much. Make a great day, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow. I don't know. Every day my voice and things have been changing, and this morning I actually had a bit of a sore throat, so I may take the day off tomorrow on videos. Maybe not. We'll see. I like to keep this as a regular thing. Need the momentum, and because it's like every weekend or when you take time off, you come in. It's like anything, get a little rusty. All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.